Can I just get a show of hands? Who here has had some experience of God in their lives that really touched them? Yeah, great. For those of you who have raised your hands, would you say your faith is at 100% all the time? What? Surely you have an experience of God, something touched you deeply, spiritually. That's enough. And yet Philip shows us today in our gospel that it's not quite that simple. Here's Philip traveling around with Jesus, witnessing his miracles, knowing that he's resurrected from the dead. And what does he say? Let us see the Father, then we will be satisfied. It's not enough for him. Everything that he did with Jesus, it isn't enough. Let us see the Father and then we'll be satisfied. And no wonder Jesus says, have I been with you all this time? And you still are asking me this. But we'll come back to Philip, because Jesus says something very profound in our gospel towards the end. He says, anyone who believes in me will perform the same works that I do. They will perform even greater works. And we might think of that and we think, oh, does that mean I'm going to, start raising the dead? Am I going to cure the crippled? Am I going to heal the sick? And if I'm not doing that, is there something wrong with me? Do I not have enough faith? Well, sorry to break it to you. On one hand, yes, you don't have enough faith. I don't either. I think if we did, as Jesus says, we could move mountains into the ocean. So we do struggle with that. However, when Jesus says they will perform the same works that I do, that word for work in the Greek is ergon. And it has so many meanings. It can mean work, obviously, the deeds that we do, but it can also mean behavior, how we are in our personality. It can also mean the fruit that we produce. And so in Matthew's Gospel, in chapter 7, there's that scripture, bad trees bear bad fruit, good trees bear good fruit. By your fruit you will know them. You remember that one? Well, the word for fruit there is ergon. And then we look at Matthew 11. Wisdom is vindicated by her deeds. Right? Basically, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Wisdom is vindicated by her deeds. The word for deeds, ergon. And so we get to see a bigger picture. Jesus is saying, if you believe in me, you will perform the same works that I do. Therefore, he's saying, if you believe in me, you won't just be able to perform miracles, you'll behave like me. Your personality will be like mine. You'll start to think like me. You will start to imitate me in every way. You will start to bear fruit that has me at the center. And that's a huge challenge for us. Our challenge is to ask ourselves, never mind the big stuff, never mind saying, well, have I performed any miracles today? Let's not start there. Let's start with the basic, am I behaving like Jesus? Do I think with the mind of Jesus? Do I react to life's problems with the mind of Jesus? Do I have the love and the patience and the understanding and the compassion of Jesus? That's where we begin, because that's how we start performing the same works as Jesus performed. Now back to Philip. You might think, well, I'm not in a good place. My faith isn't quite there. Neither was Philip's. And yet, notice Jesus doesn't say, Philip, you're asking to see the Father. You've completely missed the whole point that I'm in the Father and the Father is in me. Sorry, you're out. He doesn't say, that was your one chance to prove that you knew what I was going on about and you didn't. So there's the door. Jesus does not disqualify us for our bad days. Instead, it was after Philip has this little mistake where he wants to see the Father. That's when Jesus says, anyone who believes in me will perform the works that I do. So he's actually recalling Philip and the apostles to what it means to be a disciple. And so the short answer is you are not cut out of the will, so to speak, if you are struggling with your faith. In fact, you are recalled to behave like Jesus. It's something we can remind ourselves of every day over and over again. So today, I invite you to do that. Think about how your faith is going. Think about whether you're satisfied or not satisfied, as Philip said. And then think about how Jesus is calling you, not just to do good deeds like he did, but to think like himself, to have that heart that he has.